So Mother Nature. Mother Nature can be truly beautiful. I mean, am I right? I mean, you've got birds flying through the trees, animals like deer or little chipmunks just running through the fields or eating grass and nuts. I mean, Mother Nature can truly be beautiful. Or at times it can be super, super dark. I mean, it starts off like being all peaceful and serene with everything. And then you got birds falling out of the sky. You've got deer getting their brains fucking blown up by hunters. And you've got deforestation absolutely annihilating and killing nature, making things into a barren wasteland of sadness and pain. So, yeah. We're going to talk about, so if you haven't guessed it, yeah, we're about to talk about Berserk. Now, Berserk is an anime series, or a manga series, anime and manga series, that was created by Kentaro Miura. Now, to truly understand Berserk, one would say you got to understand Kentaro Miura. And the number one thing you got to know about him is he possibly might not be human. This is what I mean by that. You see, as a manga artist, many manga artists have different schedules on how they work on certain manga chapters. Miura, on the other hand, works something we like to call vampire hours. That means he works 16-hour days, going non-stop, wanting to get the chapter done. Now, a fun fact about Miura himself is that Miura is a huge, huge fan of Idolmaster. If you're wondering what Idolmaster is, long story short, imagine playing The Sims, but to be a pop idol in a high school. Yes. Miura actually said he invested in an Xbox 360 so he can play Idolmaster. So there's a current fan theory going on right now about Miura. It's not that it's true. It's not that it's true. It's just an idea. And one of those ideas tend to be that Miura basically plays the latest Idolmaster to the point where he intentionally goes on hiatus just so he can play it. And thus is the reason why Berserk has never been completed, considering the fact it started back in the 1990s. Then again, let's be honest, we're all fans of something, and if a new whatchamacallit comes out, we all are going to be falling deeply in love with it. Now, to truly understand Berserk, we gotta understand the main character. And that main character would have to be Guts. We all seen different anime characters with, say, a tragic past or a tragic background. Take Lucy from Elfen Lied, who watched some classmates beat a dead puppy. No, I'm saying that wrong. They didn't beat a dead puppy. That's stupid. They beat a puppy that was still alive to death. Or take Gaara, whose own dad just basically didn't show him any love. And he'd go like, "Love me, daddy." No. Okay, that didn't actually happen, but basically, he just had people try to kill his own son. Ken Kaneki from Tokyo Ghoul, and his whole thing where he was made into a ghoul to the point where just eating human food would make him sick, and now he had to eat actual humans, and that bothered him. So much psychological trauma to the point where he developed Marie Antoinette syndrome. Or Nina Tucker. Little sweet little Nina, who was such a adorable child who everybody loved, and then her father just stripped her of her humanity. All right, as of right now, they all mean shit. Okay, I know they all had some tragic past, and yes, you even hear me say Nina Tucker background is shit, but compared to Guts, I'm sorry, Guts went through way worse. I guess the main question is to understand what makes Guts' background so tragic versus Nina Tucker or all those others. Here's the thing about Guts you gotta understand. He was born from the body of his mother who was hung to death. Yes, he fell out of her after she was hung to death. Then Guts was found by Gambino. Not the childish one. Sadly, not the childish one. The other one. The mercenary one. So, after he was found by Gambino, Gambino trained him how to fight. Then Gambino got drunk one day and paid his friend to sexually assault Guts as a child. So, at one point, skip ahead, Guts gained friends, gains a girlfriend, understands what camaraderie is. He's actually happy. Until one of his friends betrays him and kills almost all of his friends. And let's just say Guts saw some shit and had to do some shit. And as a result, this shit is why he should be dead. Well, it's more like no person should have to suffer what he went through. But he's still here and he's still alive. I'll bet not really in the perfect state of mind, especially considering the fact that it's dangerous for him to actually sleep at night. But that's a whole nother story. But in summation, yes, Guts is a fucked up anime character, okay? Everything Guts went through, it messed him up. And honestly, out of all those characters I said, Nina Tucker, Ken Kaneki, Lucy, Gara, the difference between them and Guts is the fact that Guts is suffering versus them. But that's just Guts in general. So, now that we got a good example of Guts and Berserk, I bet you're wondering, what is Berserk though? What am I talking about? I haven't really talked much about Berserk. The best way for me to explain Berserk is to use a good metaphor. Berserk is basically the wet dream of Herschel Gordon Lewis. If you're wondering who Herschel Gordon Lewis is, he was known as the godfather of gore, one of the, I believe, the creator of the splatter genre of horror movies. He would basically see Berserk as an absolute total work of art. But enough about that. Let's talk about the anime itself. So, over the years, there have been 3 different adaptations of Berserk. Each one different than the other. Let's start off with the first one. You got the 90s adaptation of Berserk, okay? It came out in the 1990s, and it has a really great story. It was the anime that I got, it was the way how I got my foot in the door with Berserk. Great story, compelling, very well told. Downside, the animation. Now, I'm not an animation stickler. Let me establish that. And with the 90s anime, the animation tends to, well, let's take in consideration this was the 1990s. Back then when animation was more like, if you're not speaking or fighting, just stand there. Everybody just stand there like statues. And then when it's time to say something, they would go,
"Oh yes, oh I remember that. Yes, let's go down this way."
Oh, yes, I was good friends with that person.
See, it was just stop and go. It was, how they say, sporadic. So, that was the 90s anime. But it was still great. It's still good. So, years later, we move on to the remastered. Well, I wouldn't say it's remastered. Well, yes, no. It's basically a retelling of the 90s series condensed into movies called the Golden Age movies. And it has a beautiful, 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 beautiful blend of CG and 2D scenes that it's so watchable and it's so great. A unique thing about the series, in the very first English dub, it was done by most of the voice actors who currently do voices for 4 Kids, as well as one of them being Sean Schimmel, who also is the voice of Goku. Yes, you can randomly hear Goku's voice in the original 90s. Now, the reason why I mention that is because the English dub for the Golden Age movies, they actually got a good chunk of the voice actors from who did the 90s English dub. And that was really cool. It made it feel really consistent and that they show that they really care for it. So afterwards, talks about Berserk were going on saying, hey, you know what? The fans love the 90s series. They love the Golden Age movies. We got a lot of hype. We're going to continue the story. That's it. Everybody, stop what you're doing. We're continuing it. We're continuing Berserk. Okay? Imagine being a fan of the series when you learn that in 2016 a brand new Berserk series is going to be released. I mean, everybody is so excited for it. And then it comes around, and man, oh man, you are fucking disappointed. So, when I saw the 2016 anime of Berserk that continued on after the whole Golden Age arc, I I noticed there were some things wrong. Some obvious things. One of which is the animation. The animation was so... Okay, the 90s animation, yes, it wasn't the best. But 1990s, and yes, it looked sporadic. But this monstrosity... The best way for me to describe the animation was like how Shakira dances in the Hips Don't Lie music video. How they're just moving slowly and just so stiff. I mean, it had like the fluid that the movies had, because when you say, hey, we're getting a Berserk 2016 anime, we're thinking, okay, we're going to use the same technology we did for the movies. Apparently, that was just too much for some people. I mean, but like I said, I'm not a stickler for animation. Maybe if we look past the animation, we can focus on the other things. Except the other things tend to really make you cringe. Let's talk about the way how some of the characters looked. So, first, yeah, they don't have nipples, okay? Maybe it's a censorship thing. I can accept. I mean, you know, not a lot of anime show characters with nipples, okay? But anything below the belt, they didn't have. And long story short, let's just say everybody looked like Barbie dolls when fully naked, which raises a lot of questions when they would show that some characters just had sex, and you sit there and go, yeah, so how? When I don't see anything, and you two, you know, did. But let's just say there's some things in life that we shouldn't question. And, you know, I thought, okay, that's what's kind of hard to accept. It is really hard. Really, really hard to accept, but I'm going to still keep going. It can't be that bad. Could it? You see, here's the thing. When it comes to anime, I can accept a lot of things. But at the end of the day, we all come together for anime or manga because of the story. We like to watch a good, well-written, compelling story. They chopped it. A lot of things got chopped. Yes, I can accept. Not a lot of things will be adapted from the manga. I can accept that. But whole arcs or certain chapters just to speed along a certain point. For example, there's a part that they skip in the 2016 anime. Long story short, Guts fights a gigantic fairy monster demon thing to the point where it runs over him moving at hypersonic speed. So, you've got stiff animation, bad editing, and chopped up story. A lot of the voice actors who originally voiced the 90s anime as well as the Golden Age movies, they were English dub voice actors from 4Kids. And 4Kids has a notorious reputation for chopping up and editing anime poorly. But when I saw this, it was just appalling that they would just edit and just cut out certain things just so they could speed ahead certain points. I can understand maybe recoloring certain characters. That's understandable. Or maybe just introducing, say, another side character just cause, but still following the main story. But what they did was just kind of hurtful and insulting as a fan. Because I started off reading the manga after I finished the Golden Age, and I saw some really, really beautiful scenes drawn by Miura. But what this was, in terms of the anime that I saw, it was not what Miura intended. I don't think it matches his work. And it's just depressing. So, does Berserk have anything left? The story's still not done. There's still a shit ton of things that were never covered in either the anime. Okay. So the question is this. Will we get a new anime? Will we possibly see a remake of the whole 2016? Will it just continue off and just pretend 2016 didn't happen? Who knows? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Let's Talk Anime. I am the Rangerist, also known as Darren. And next time, who knows? How about this? Next time we'll talk about, I don't know, either Beyblade or Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't know. Like, subscribe, follow. Till next time, peace out!